10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello, everybody. There we go. It has been a hectic morning. I tell you, you'd be amazed at what's been going on today. And I'm going to go through it because it's completely thrown off the schedule for the day. Not for our guest. He's going to be here, and we're going to enjoy speaking with Gary Goldman, and it'll be fantastic having him into the program. But it was just a little bit disturbing what happened before the program. Now, for people who don't know, I don't live in exactly the best neighborhood in New York, upstate New York, and a lot of people don't realize that can be a little dangerous at times, or a little bit. Well, not to me. Considering where I've lived in my life and some of the places and things I've gone through, I don't really care. I think it's kind of nice. It's really comfortable. But a lot of people, if you're from upstate, if you've never been in a somewhat difficult place to live in life, you may have found it a little bit challenging. That being said, so when you're in these kind of areas, sometimes you'll see that people will be walking down the middle of the street, and they'll be in the middle of an argument as they walk down the middle of the street, which never makes sense to me. Why do people walk down the middle of the street to have an argument? I don't understand it. I mean, then they get upset that why are you paying attention to their conversation or something like that? And it's like, well, you're walking down the middle of the street. Of course I'm going to notice you. Of course I'm going to be paying attention to someone who seems to be in the argument, either trying to get into a fight or to get hit by a car. I'm going to pay attention to that. I'm going to notice that. But in this case, we have 4 women. So there's 4 women and 1 guy. The one guy, who doesn't apparently know how to wear a shirt and has his pants falling down around his knees, is basically trying to get his girlfriend away from her 3 friends who are trying to keep him away from her. So I hope I explained that properly. And this is part of why I'm a little frazzled and a little amped up. This is the situation. The 3 women are protecting their girlfriend. The one guy is trying to get his girlfriend, that one girl, away from them. They're having an argument, and this is not going well. The girlfriend is crying, and she is tired, and he has obviously been chasing her around for a while from the conversation that they're making very public to everyone in the middle of the street. So me, my neighbors, many people start recording it and also calling the police and observing and watching and making sure that this man does not assault this woman, which looks like it could happen at any moment. And eventually, and the 3 women are confronting the man going, and it's really not a man, it's a teen. These are all teens. These are all teens we're speaking about. And so the 3 girls, the 3 women are like, well, we'll fight you if we have to. She's coming with us. Give it a break. Go away. We're taking her, and if we have to, we'll fight you. He never touched them. He never raised his hand to them. He really wasn't really speaking much, but he was in their way. He eventually goes, okay, fine, and walks off. And I had to make sure that he wouldn't approach any of my neighbors who have been recording him or calling in, including myself. And obviously, step by step, as he's walking down the road in the opposite direction of the ladies, he's getting angrier and angrier because he's noticing every single person was watching him, and that he was being photographed, and he was being recorded, and that people are aware of his business that he put out in the middle of the street for everyone to see, because he seemed to have a issue with his anger in dealing with his girlfriend. These are all things that I saw. This is what was happening just before I came on air. And this is what I was trying to resolve and help out and watch just before we came on air. So for the young men that are out there that, for whatever reason, you get in an argument. Actually, you can say this for older men too. Let's go through this a couple ways. One, do not chase a woman, or anyone for that matter, down the middle of the street. Here's a good start to your day. You don't want to get embarrassed. You don't want to be upset. More importantly, think about it. If you're chasing someone down the middle of the street, stop, rethink what you're doing. Maybe you shouldn't be in that situation. Whatever it is, no matter how angry you are, you maybe not want to be in the middle of the street screaming at the top of your lungs and drawing attention to yourself. This is not a good situation. Something went wrong. Stop, rethink. May not be the best thing for you to do. Whether you're the right or wrong doesn't matter. Figure it out. Another really neat thing that you may want to figure out. If you're a guy and you have a group of women who are smaller than you, and they are all saying, "Get away, or we will fight you to protect our friend," stop. I don't care how angry you are. Stop. I don't care what the argument was about. Stop. Back off. You've obviously done something. Doesn't matter if you're miscommunicating. Doesn't matter if you're in the right. There's obviously a miscommunication going on. You obviously did something wrong. Stop. Back off. Rethink. Calm down. Let them calm down. And then do whatever is going to happen next. Have that conversation, whatever, but calm down. Get out the middle of the street. Relax. Get some distance and get some calmness. And don't walk away getting angrier because you let people into your life and you're embarrassed about it. That's not other people's fault. It's your fault. You went down the middle of the street. You aggravated the situation. You're causing people to have conflict with you. That's your fault, not others. I don't know. Maybe that's me. Maybe I look at the world in a very unique way. But when I see a young man who's being such an aggressor for no reason in the most stupid way possible, I don't know. Would it be wrong to say the actions, the mannerisms, the way that young man was acting made me instantly think, you got out of jail recently, didn't you? That's what I was thinking. That was one of the first things running through my head. Big lack of education, and somebody, he in particular, was probably just in jail. Seems like it. Seems a lot like it. But that's not to say that everybody who goes to jail is a bad person or does really stupid things. I can't say that. It's not fair. It's not honest. It's not true. It is a trend. It does tend to happen. But, it'd be unfair to say that everyone is like that. But there are reasons why there are stereotypes. There are trends. Things tend to be the same. You tend to see this happen. I don't know. I don't see a lot of PhDs running down the middle of the street, shirt off and screaming their news to every one of their neighbors. I just don't. I do see it with people who've been to jail. I don't see it so much with PhDs. I just don't. Maybe it's me. And if you're upset with me over that, you'll probably be upset with me over a dozen other things before the show is done.